Adyashanti True Meditation. Full summary. There is a silence within you that has never been disturbed. It existed before your first thought, before your first emotion, before you even knew what you meant. In the chaos of daily life, scrolling screens, endless plans, constant comparisons, this silence waits patiently. Adyashanti's True Meditation isn't a method to add more to your mind. It's an invitation to return to what's already here. This book doesn't ask you to do meditation. It asks you to be meditation. In a world obsessed with effort, it reminds you that the deepest awakening happens when you stop trying to awaken. Most people approach meditation like another task, a project to control the mind, manage stress, or reach enlightenment. But the essence of Adyashanti's teaching is surrender, not control. He reveals that every time you chase peace, you create tension. Every time you reach for stillness, you move away from it. Real meditation begins when all effort falls away and you rest in pure awareness, allowing everything, thoughts, emotions, sensations, to rise and fade naturally. We live in an age where rest feels like laziness, silence feels like emptiness, and being feels like doing nothing. Yet it is in this nothing that you find everything. You rediscover your natural state, peaceful, open, alive. This is what Adyashanti calls true meditation. It's not about changing the mind. It's about recognizing the vastness in which the mind appears and disappears. This is a journey back home, to yourself, before the noise of identity, before the struggle of self-improvement. As you listen to these reflections, don't analyze them. Feel them. Let each word point you not outward, but inward, to that quiet space within you that has been waiting to be remembered. Most people turn meditation into a performance. They sit with the goal of silencing thoughts, reaching peace, or escaping discomfort. But Adyashanti reminds you that the moment you try, you separate yourself from what already is. True meditation begins when all effort ends. You do make silence happen, you notice it's already here. It's like trying to make the ocean still by pushing down the waves. The harder you push, the more waves you create. Imagine sitting quietly, not as a soldier guarding your thoughts, but as a sky watching clouds drift by. Thoughts come and go, sensations arise and pass, and you, pure awareness, remain untouched. Your practice isn't to fix anything, but to allow everything. The peace you seek is not found through control, but through surrender. Sit in stillness for 10 minutes. Don't focus on breath, posture, or thought. Simply let everything be. If restlessness appears, allow it fully. Watch the effort dissolve into spacious awareness. The mind's favorite habit is resistance. It labels sensations as good or bad, emotions as wanted or unwanted. But true meditation invites you to make peace with every experience. When you stop resisting, the energy trapped in judgment releases into freedom. Adyashanti says, "Let everything be as it is, and the mind will naturally quiet itself." When sadness comes, don't fight it. When joy arises, don't cling to it. Let both move through you like wind through an open window. The moment you stop trying to change experience, you discover the changeless awareness behind it. During your next meditation, whenever discomfort arises, whisper inwardly, "This too." Whether it's an itch, anxiety, or boredom, allow it. Watch how the moment expands when you no longer contract around it. We spend our lives trying to control everything, our image, our emotions, our future. But Adyashanti reveals that control is a form of fear. The ego believes that if it can manage experience, it can protect itself. Yet this very control creates the tension we try to escape. The paradox is simple. The more we try to control life, the less we actually live it. Meditation exposes this illusion. When you sit and stop manipulating experience, you realize life doesn't need your control to flow. Breath happens by itself. Thoughts appear on their own. The heart beats without effort. You begin to sense a vast intelligence beyond the mind, an intelligence that has been guiding everything all along. Close your eyes for a few minutes and observe what happens without doing anything. Notice how breath moves, how sounds appear and fade, how sensations shift. Realize that awareness doesn't need control, it only needs presence. True meditation is not about watching awareness, it's about being awareness. You are not the thinker of thoughts, but the space in which thoughts arise. You are not the doer of actions, but the stillness in which life unfolds. This shift, from identifying with the contents of experience to resting as the context of experience, is the awakening Adyashanti points to. At first, this may sound abstract, but it's deeply practical. When you rest as awareness, problems lose their heaviness because they no longer define you. You stop taking every thought personally. Instead of "I am anxious," you see, anxiety is arising. You witness the play of consciousness without becoming trapped in it. Several times a day, pause and ask yourself, who is aware of this moment? Don't answer with words. Just feel the awareness that is noticing. Stay there for a few seconds. That silent recognition is meditation itself. You don't need to create peace. Peace arises when you stop interfering with the natural rhythm of life. Adyashanti teaches that the same intelligence that makes your heart beat and your lungs breathe also guides the movement of awakening. You are not the engineer of enlightenment, you are its expression. The flower does not strain to bloom, it opens when the season is right. In the same way, your awakening unfolds when you stop trying to manage it. Every spiritual struggle begins with the illusion that you are separate from the flow of existence. But what if you stopped fighting the current? What if you trusted that the river of life knows exactly where to take you? When you surrender, you don't lose control. You merge with something far wiser than control. When you feel overwhelmed, instead of asking, "What should I do?" breathe deeply and ask, "What wants to happen through me right now?" Trust the answer that rises from stillness, not from panic. Most people believe meditation is something they do for 20 minutes a day. But Adyashanti reminds us that true meditation has no beginning or end. It is the natural state of awareness itself. Even as you walk, eat, talk, or work, you can live as meditation. It's not about sitting in silence, it's about being awake in every moment. When you realize this, meditation stops being a compartment of your day and becomes the texture of your life. You notice the sound of wind as a form of presence. You feel emotions arise and dissolve without judgment. You begin to experience each moment as a living expression of stillness. Choose a daily activity, washing dishes, walking, or drinking tea. Perform it with full awareness. Feel each motion, sound, and sensation as sacred. Watch how even simple acts become gateways to presence. In ordinary meditation, people try to stop thinking, as if thoughts are enemies of silence. But Adyashanti reveals a deeper truth. Thoughts are simply movements of the same awareness that perceives them. You don't need to silence them. You only need to stop believing them. When you see a thought as a passing cloud, it loses its power to pull you away. Every thought carries an energy of resistance or seeking. I shouldn't be thinking. I should be calm. This isn't working. These are just more thoughts. True meditation is not about controlling the storm, but realizing you are the sky. When you stop fighting your thoughts, their momentum dissolves naturally. During your next meditation, when a thought appears, don't chase it or push it away. Silently say, "Welcome." Watch how the simple act of welcoming changes your relationship with thinking from struggle to openness. Adyashanti writes that most spiritual journeys are built on seeking peace, seeking God, seeking enlightenment. But the very act of seeking assumes lack. The seeker can never find what they are searching for because their identity depends on the search itself. True meditation ends this chase. You stop reaching for awakening because you realize you were never apart from it. Imagine spending your life looking for the horizon, only to realize you've been standing inside it all along. That's what awakening feels like, the end of the illusion that you must become something more. When the seeker disappears, what remains is pure being, silent, radiant, complete. Sit quietly and let go of all spiritual goals. Don't try to become peaceful or enlightened. Whisper to yourself, there is nothing to achieve. Feel how that truth relaxes the heart. Notice how stillness appears when there's nothing left to reach for. Silence is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of everything. Adyashanti calls it the stillness that listens. When you rest in this silence, you sense that life is whispering through every moment, through a bird's song, a heartbeat, even through chaos. This silence is not passive, it vibrates with life. It's where every word, emotion, and experience arises and returns. At first, silence may seem empty or boring because the mind is addicted to noise. But as you deepen into it, you discover that silence has its own music, a fullness beyond description. It's like discovering a hidden dimension of reality where everything breathes together. Sit for 5 minutes each day and listen to the sounds around you, not to analyze them, but to sense the silence beneath them. Notice how even the noise becomes part of that stillness. You often believe you are your body, your thoughts, your emotions, but Adyashanti gently invites you to notice that you are the one aware of them. You can feel your heartbeat, sense your breath, and witness your thoughts. Therefore, you cannot be any of them. You are the awareness in which all of them appear. When you rest as awareness, even pain and fear become sacred visitors. They no longer define you, they reveal the vastness that holds them. The body may ache, the heart may tremble, but awareness remains untouched, like the sky watching the storm pass. Several times today, close your eyes and ask, what am I if I am not my thoughts, emotions, or sensations? Don't answer intellectually. Let the question dissolve into silence. Adyashanti reminds you that awakening isn't hidden in mystical experiences or distant futures. It's always right here, in this breath, this moment, this heartbeat. The mind constantly projects peace into tomorrow, when I have more time, when I fix myself, when I understand enough. But the truth is simpler than that. The only doorway to freedom is now. The present moment isn't something you enter. You've never left it. Everything else is just imagination. The power of now lies in its innocence. When you stop dragging the past and stop chasing the future, what remains is the freshness of being. Even pain feels different when it's met without story. The mind says, this shouldn't be happening. Awareness simply says, this is. The first step to awakening is not changing your life, but fully meeting life as it is, without a filter. Throughout the day, pause and take one conscious breath. Feel the air moving in and out. Ask silently, am I here right now? Each time you remember this, you dissolve 1,000 layers of unconsciousness. When meditation deepens, love awakens, not as emotion, but as the natural fragrance of awareness. You begin to see that everything and everyone arises in the same vast presence that you are. The barrier between me and others softens. Compassion is no longer a practice. It's a spontaneous expression of unity. Adyashanti says that true love doesn't come from effort. It flows from clarity. When you realize that the same consciousness lives through all beings, how could you not care? Even the person who hurts you is acting out of their own confusion. Love sees this, not as justification, but as understanding. When you encounter someone who challenges you, pause. Instead of reacting, silently say, you too are consciousness. Feel the resistance melt as compassion replaces judgment. True meditation is not a technique, it is a remembering. You are not a mind trying to quiet itself. You are the stillness in which the mind appears. You are not a wave trying to find the ocean. You are the ocean realizing it was never lost. Every breath, every thought, every emotion is an invitation to rest as what you already are. The modern world celebrates doing, achieving, becoming, but Adyashanti gently guides you back to the forgotten art of being. You've spent your life trying to awaken. Now simply stop. Let go of control, let go of seeking, let go of effort. Sit, breathe, and allow life to live itself through you. The moment you stop trying to wake up is the moment you realize you already are. If you truly wish to live as awareness, start small. Begin each morning with silence instead of a screen. Just 5 minutes of presence. During the day, remind yourself, I am awareness, not thought. watch how tension fades. When you feel resistance or pain, whisper inwardly, "This too belongs." Let everything find its place in the whole. Before sleep, release the day completely. Let life meditate you as you rest in its arms. This is the heart of true meditation: effortless being, open awareness, and unconditional acceptance. There is nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, no enlightenment to reach, because what you are searching for is what's searching. The silence within you has always been awake, waiting patiently for you to notice. So pause now, take one slow breath, feel your chest rise and fall. Listen, not for words, but for the stillness beneath them. That stillness is your home. That stillness is who you are. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for being here and supporting this journey.